The Great Barrier Reef. Australia's living, breathing, colorful beast. If you ever wanted to see something that's alive, ancient, look no further than Australia's national underwater pride and joy, the Great Barrier Reef. It's not just a pretty place to snorkel and take selfies while pretending to care about marine life. Oh no. This reef is a celebrity, a beast, a record breaker, and an environmental drama queen all wrapped into one. Let's dive in, pun very much intended. First, imagine zooming out to spur. The Great Barrier Reef is home to more species than your favorite zoo and your ex's dating history combined. We're talking over 1,500 species of fish, 400 types of coral, 134 species of sharks and rays, 6 kinds of sea turtles, and even sea cows. Yes, sea cows. Also known as dugongs. They're like manatees, but more Australian and with an even better tan. The reef also hosts some of the weirdest creatures on Earth. Ever seen a parrotfish poop sand? Well, now you have something to Google. These rainbow-colored munching machines chomp coral and poop out pristine white sand. So next time you're relaxing on a tropical Queensland beach, just remember, you're probably lying on fish poop. You're welcome. There are clownfish like Nemo, giant clams the size of mini fridges, sea cucumbers that look like underwater sausages, and starfish that walk like they're late to an important meeting. Not to mention the crown of thorns starfish, a coral-munching villain with more arms than a conspiracy theory. And jellyfish. We've got the deadly box jellyfish, which is basically a floating pain dispenser, and the adorably evil irukandji jellyfish, so tiny it could ride a seahorse into battle. Cute but deadly like a kitten with nunchucks. Now let's talk beauty. If this reef were a human, it would be on the cover of Vogue every month. Picture swirling coral gardens in shades of pink, purple, and neon green. Schools of fish shimmer like living disco balls. Turtles glide by like underwater grandpas, wise and unbothered. And whales. Oh yes. Humpbacks migrate through here, flipping their fins like runway models. But all is not sunshine in sea anemones. Our beloved reef is under threat. And no, it's not just from selfie stick-wielding tourists or awkward snorkelers who think flippers are a fashion statement. We're talking coral bleaching, climate change, pollution, overfishing, and those sneaky crown of thorns starfish I mentioned earlier. Those guys eat coral like it's a free buffet. Coral bleaching is what happens when corals get stressed like us during tax season, and they kick out the colorful algae that keeps them healthy. The result? Ghost white coral that's barely hanging on. And they don't have Medicare. Warming oceans are cooking the reef like a prawn on a Barbie, and extreme weather events, cyclones, floods, and heat waves have battered this ecosystem like a soggy meat pie. But it's not all doom and gloom. Conservation efforts are fighting back harder than a magpie in swooping season. Marine biologists, indigenous rangers, scientists, and volunteers are planting coral, monitoring reef health, and creating underwater nurseries. There are also coral IVF programs, where baby corals are grown in labs and released into the wild. It's like Tinder for coral, swipe right to save the reef. Now let's talk benefits. Because the reef isn't just eye candy, it's a hard-working Aussie treasure. First, it supports over 60,000 jobs in tourism, science, and conservation. It pumps billions into the Aussie economy, all while wearing no shoes and being underwater. Unique. Second, it's a biodiversity hotspot. Like a giant underwater neighborhood full of marine celebrities. Every tiny creature plays a part in keeping the ocean healthy. Lose the reef and we're not just losing fish and coral, we're risking the balance of an entire ecosystem. Third, the reef protects our coastlines. Like a big, beautiful breakwater, it absorbs wave energy and reduces erosion. It's like a bodyguard for Queensland, except with more fish and less sunglasses. And fourth, it inspires. Artists, poets, musicians, scientists, filmmakers, all have drawn inspiration from this living masterpiece. Even your mate Dave, who once painted his bathroom reef blue after one snorkeling trip. Now let's get practical. How can you visit the Great Barrier Reef without causing it to file a restraining order? You can fly into Cairns, Townsville, Airlie Beach, or even Hamilton Island. These coastal cities are the gateways to the reef. From there, it's up to you, snorkeling, diving, sailing, scenic flights, glass-bottom boats, or just dipping your toes in while trying to look cool in a rashi. Snorkeling tours will take you to reef pontoons where you can float above coral gardens with a noodle under your armpits, dignity optional. Divers can go deeper, exploring coral caves, reef walls, and even shipwrecks. It's like Indiana Jones, but wetter. Want to stay dry? Glass-bottom boats are your friend. Or take a scenic helicopter flight. The view from above is like looking into another world. Bonus: you can spot manta rays and turtles from the sky. It's like Pokemon Go but real. Make sure to choose eco-certified tours. They follow strict guidelines to protect the reef. No touching coral, no feeding fish Tim Tams, and definitely no taking souvenirs, like a rogue sea cucumber. And don't forget, visit the reef respectfully. Wear reef-safe sunscreen. Don't litter. And don't ride the turtles no matter how much they look like they're offering you a lift. The reef is magical, fragile, and irreplaceable. It's not just Australia's treasure, it's the world's. A living kaleidoscope that's been growing for thousands of years. A colorful, crazy underwater city where Nemo lives, turtles cruise, and coral blooms like underwater flowers. So let's keep it alive, share its beauty, and remind the world that sometimes the most incredible wonders aren't built by humans. They're grown by nature, slowly, quietly, and with a splash of color that takes your breath away. Now, if that didn't convince you to visit, protect, or at least Google the Great Barrier Reef, then I'm afraid you've been living under a very boring rock. Probably one without coral.